The Democratic Republic of Congo is facing a challenging situation in its eastern regions. A rebel group called M23 has been fighting against the Congolese army. M23 has taken control of important cities like Goma and Bukavu. These cities are home to many people, and their capture has created a lot of fear and uncertainty. Goma, a bustling city of 2 million people, fell to M23 rebels in a swift and brutal assault. The Congolese army was unable to hold back the rebels, who were better equipped and organized. This victory gave M23 control over a major population center and sent shockwaves through the region. The capture of Goma is a significant blow to the Congolese government. It shows the weakness of the army and the government's inability to protect its citizens. The fall of Goma has also raised concerns about the stability of the entire region. The international community has condemned the violence and called for a ceasefire. However, so far, these calls have gone unanswered. As M23 tightens its grip on Goma, the people of the city live in fear, hoping for a swift end to the conflict. Bukavu, located on the shores of Lake Kivu, holds immense strategic importance. Its capture by M23 marks a turning point in the conflict. Control over Bukavu gives the rebels a strategic advantage, allowing them to control trade routes and access valuable resources. Lake Kivu is a vital waterway for transportation and trade in the region. With Bukavu under their control, M23 can regulate the flow of goods and people across the lake. This control gives them significant leverage over the Congolese government and strengthens their position in the conflict. Moreover, the region surrounding Bukavu is rich in mineral resources. These resources are a lucrative source of income for armed groups operating in eastern DRC. M23's control over Bukavu allows them to tap into these resources, further bolstering their finances and capacity to sustain their operations. The capture of Bukavu has significant implications for the future of the conflict. It strengthens M23's position, gives them control over vital resources, and poses a serious challenge to the Congolese government's authority in the region. The international community is watching closely, concerned about the potential for further escalation and instability. The ongoing conflict in the Kivu provinces has created a dire humanitarian crisis. Thousands of innocent people have been caught in the crossfire, resulting in widespread displacement, loss of life, and severe human rights violations. The situation is particularly dire for vulnerable populations, including women and children. The fighting has forced hundreds of thousands of people to flee their homes in search of safety. Makeshift displacement camps are overflowing, struggling to provide basic necessities such as food, water, and shelter. The lack of adequate sanitation and healthcare facilities in these camps has led to the spread of diseases, further exacerbating the suffering. Reports of human rights abuses are rampant, with both sides accused of committing atrocities. Extrajudicial killings, sexual violence, and the recruitment of child soldiers are tragically commonplace. The targeting of civilians and the use of violence as a weapon of war have left deep scars on the affected communities. The humanitarian crisis in the Kivus demands urgent attention from the international community. Providing humanitarian aid, protecting civilians, and addressing the root causes of the conflict are crucial steps to alleviate the suffering and prevent further deterioration of the situation. The international community has responded to the escalating crisis in eastern DRC with a mix of diplomacy and sanctions. Peace talks have been initiated, aiming to bring the warring parties to the negotiating table and find a lasting solution to the conflict. However, these talks have faced numerous challenges, including a lack of trust between the parties and ongoing violence. Regional organizations, such as the East African Community and the Southern African Development Community, have played a role in mediating the conflict. They have called for a ceasefire, the withdrawal of M23 from captured territories, and a commitment to dialogue. However, their efforts have yet to yield significant results. In addition to diplomatic efforts, some countries have imposed sanctions on individuals and entities deemed to be fueling the conflict. These sanctions target those responsible for human rights abuses, providing financial support to armed groups, or obstructing peace efforts. The goal is to exert pressure and create consequences for those who perpetuate the violence. While the international community's response reflects a commitment to addressing the crisis, the situation on the ground remains volatile. Sustainable peace in eastern DRC requires a comprehensive approach that addresses the root causes of the conflict, ensures accountability for human rights violations, and provides support for the affected communities.